The Colosseum in Rome, a magnificent ruin, standing as a testament to the architectural prowess of ancient Rome. Its towering arches and grandiose structure have withstood the test of time, drawing millions of visitors from around the world. A monument to a glorious past where emperors and citizens alike gathered to witness spectacles of unimaginable scale. But these stones whisper tales of another time, a time of bloodlust, a time of cruelty. The shadows cast by the arches seem to hold the memories of countless lives lost. A time when the sand drank the blood of fallen warriors. The arena floor, now silent, once echoed with the roars of the crowd and the cries of the dying. This was not just a place of entertainment. It was a place where life and death played out as a public spectacle. It was a stage for death. The very architecture of the Colosseum was designed to heighten the drama of the events that unfolded within its walls. Thousands upon thousands met their end within these walls. Gladiators trained to fight to the death became the unwilling stars of this brutal theater. Gladiators, slaves, criminals, even wild beasts, all perished under the watchful gaze of the Roman crowd. But why? What drove the Romans to such spectacle? What drove the Romans to such spectacle? Was it a thirst for blood, a desire for control, or something deeper within the human psyche? And what does it tell us about ourselves, even today? As we gather in modern arenas, are we so different from those ancient spectators? Let us step back in time and peel back the layers of history. To understand the Colosseum is to understand a part of ourselves, for the Colosseum's story is a dark and compelling one. It is a mirror reflecting the duality of human nature. It is a story about the human capacity for both greatness and cruelty. A story that continues to resonate through the ages. Gladiators. The word itself evokes images of muscular warriors, clashing swords, and desperate battles. These were not just any battles, they were spectacles, grand performances meant to entertain the masses and demonstrate the might of Rome. But who were these men? They came from all corners of the Roman Empire. From the far reaches of the provinces to the heart of Rome itself, they were a diverse group, united by their fate. Some were prisoners of war, others condemned criminals. These men had no choice, forced into the arena as a form of punishment or as a way to pay for their crimes. Some even chose this life, lured by the promise of glory and wealth. For them, the arena was a chance to escape poverty, to gain fame, and to achieve a status they could never have dreamed of otherwise. Their training was brutal, unforgiving. In special schools, they learned to fight, to kill, and to die. These schools were like military academies, where discipline was strict and the weak did not survive. They were taught swordsmanship, archery, and hand-to-hand combat. Each skill was honed to perfection, as their lives depended on their ability to entertain and survive. Every day was a struggle for survival. The training was relentless, pushing them to their physical and mental limits. Their lives belonged to the games. Each fight could be their last, and the anticipation before entering the arena was a mix of fear and excitement. Yet despite the hardships, gladiators were more than just slaves. They were performers, warriors, and sometimes even heroes in the eyes of the public. They were celebrities, idols of the people. The crowds adored them, and their names were known throughout the empire. A successful gladiator could win their freedom, their fortune, and the adoration of the masses. They could rise from the lowest ranks of society to a position of wealth and influence. Theirs was a life of risk and reward, played out on the edge of a sword. It was a life of constant danger, but also one of potential glory and honor. The Colosseum Games were not just about bloodshed. They were a complex blend of entertainment, politics, and social control. These games were a potent tool of Roman politics, used strategically by those in power. Emperors used the games to entertain the masses, to distract them from political unrest, and to solidify their own power. By providing grand spectacles, they could win the favor of the people and maintain their rule. These spectacles were a display of wealth, a demonstration of Rome's might. The grandeur of the events showcased the empire's resources and its ability to organize such massive gatherings. Bread and circuses, the Romans called it. This phrase encapsulated the strategy of providing free food and entertainment to keep the populace content and distracted from more pressing issues. The government provided free food and entertainment to keep the populace content. This was a calculated move to ensure that the citizens remained loyal and less likely to rebel. The roar of the crowd drowned out any whisper of dissent. The sheer volume of the cheering masses created an atmosphere where opposition voices were easily silenced. The Colosseum was a symbol of Roman power. Its imposing structure and the events held within it were a constant reminder of the empire's dominance. It was also a tool of control. The presence of soldiers and the emperor's oversight ensured that the games ran smoothly and that any potential unrest was quickly quelled. The games served a religious purpose as well. They were often dedicated to the gods, with sacrifices and rituals woven into the spectacle, adding a layer of divine significance to the events. They were often dedicated to the gods, with sacrifices and rituals woven into the spectacle. This religious aspect reinforced the idea that the emperor and the state were favored by the divine. Victory in the arena was seen as a sign of divine favor. Gladiators who triumphed were celebrated not just as skilled fighters, but as individuals blessed by the gods. In this way, the games were deeply intertwined with Roman society, religion, and politics. They were more than mere entertainment. They were a reflection of the values, beliefs, and power structures of ancient Rome. Imagine the scene. The sun beats down on the packed Colosseum. The air crackles with anticipation. The crowd roars as the gladiators enter the arena. This was no ordinary crowd. They were active participants in the spectacle of life and death. They cheered for their favorites, jeered at their rivals, and demanded blood with a terrifying fervor. A thumbs up meant life for a defeated gladiator. A thumbs down meant certain death. The crowd was fickle, their mood shifting with the tide of battle. This was a society accustomed to violence. Gladiatorial combat was seen as entertainment, a thrilling distraction from the realities of daily life. But this thirst for blood raises uncomfortable questions. What does it mean about humanity that we can find pleasure in another's suffering? The Colosseum witnessed the reigns of many emperors, each leaving their mark on the games. Some, like Titus, were known for their lavish spectacles, others, like Caligula, for their cruelty. Within the arena, legendary gladiators etched their names in history. Men like Spartacus, the rebel gladiator who led a slave revolt against Rome, or Commodus, the emperor who fancied himself a gladiator, much to the horror of his subjects. These figures, both real and mythologized, add to the Colosseum's allure. They remind us that this was not just a place of anonymous bloodshed. It was a stage where real lives were won and lost, where heroes and villains were made. The stories of these individuals bring the Colosseum to life, reminding us of the human drama that unfolded within its walls. The Colosseum stands today as a stark reminder of Rome's complex past. It is a breathtaking monument, awe-inspiring in its scale and engineering. Yet we cannot ignore the dark history etched into its stones. The echoes of the crowd, the clash of steel, the cries of the fallen, these memories linger in the air. The Colosseum compels us to confront the darker aspects of human nature. It forces us to ask ourselves, how could such cruelty have been possible? But it also speaks to our enduring fascination with violence. From gladiatorial combat to modern sports, we are still drawn to the thrill of competition, the drama of victory and defeat. The Colosseum is a powerful symbol. It represents the heights of Roman civilization and the depths of its barbarity. It is a testament to our capacity for both creation and destruction. As we gaze upon this ancient arena, we must ask ourselves, has anything really changed? We may no longer have gladiators, but violence still permeates our world. We see it in our entertainment, our news, even in our own lives. The Colosseum serves as a stark warning. It reminds us that the potential for cruelty lies within us all. It is a history lesson we cannot afford to forget, for only by understanding our past can we hope to build a better future, free from the spectre of violence.